Hello everyone, Geek is a 32 back again, and today I've decided to do a top 10 video. I haven't done one in quite some time. Today we're going to be looking at top 10 playing card swaps. Because there is a massive amount of places that I could list, I am not going to be obviously including in the list Kickstarter or Indiegogo. No magic websites. I am not going to be doing any of the actual playing card companies like USBC or Legends, despite the fact that they do sell playing cards. No poker type websites for the most part. I don't think there's any. And no Amazon or eBay or LE or Taobao or anything like that. And none of the big sites like Illusionist, Dandy, or like anything like that. Just specifically playing card swaps. Top 10. Now I've probably done a list like this in the past, but it's been a while. Some of the websites that were on there no longer exist, like B and Poker World and the One Night Jack. Apparently Ace King playing cards on eBay no longer exists, and so forth. A lot has changed in 5 years in playing cards websites. So let's look at, first of all, I have 10 sites that are honorable mentions. First of all, we got 13 The Peak, which is from Alex Beckley, who is a pretty well-known cardist on YouTube. She's from France. She's got a whole bunch of decks that she likes to use for cardistry, available for fairly decent prices. So not a massive selection or anything like that, but a small selection. Next up, we got, what's next? CapitalCards.com.au from Australia. It looks like it's a decent site. I've never done any business with them, so I can't speak towards their customer service or their products, but they do have a pretty good selection of decks, apparently from, I have some difficulty loading these, but from all the different websites like 311 and Illusionist, Dan and Dave, standards as you can see. Next up, UCDeckSales.com from United Cardists. Again, I have never gotten anything off here, so I can't speak too much to it. I will, obviously Mike who owns it, Mike Rappledge, who owns this, and United Cardists is a good guy. He's got some good deals here, but it's a very limited amount of stuff. So United Cardist decks and some other decks, limited edition stuff. I'm still going to add more as he gets more to add. So moving along here, RunItDecks.com from the Philippines, I believe it is. Come on, I already loaded these. Why is it not? Oh, I apologize. Yes, from the Philippines. They also own, sell magic tricks and stuff like that, but they got a decent selection if you're in the Philippines of cards. I don't have a lot of experience with this one again, but they do have some stuff. Moving along here, Gamblers General Store. I know I said I wasn't going to mention any poker sites, but this is just the honorable mentions. They do have a pretty good selection of poker playing cards, bicycle playing cards, and all sorts of others. We have 311. There you go. Another one I forgot, I want to double check here. Next up, we got CartsGeek.com. Not overly familiar with them again. I've never gotten anything from there, but they got all sorts of decks. Look at that, you can search by red decks, blue decks, titanium decks, black decks. For a second there I thought it said blank decks. Decks by prices. think these guys are from Australia as well. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. I don't know, but we got some of the titanium decks still. That's good. Yeah, they got a decent selection, as you can see. So let's move on though. We got suppleanddeal.com.au, another one that I've never done any business with from Australia, but it came up in the search, so I thought I would mention it for those in Australia. There was another one that I used to be familiar with in Australia, but they don't seem to exist anymore. It was the Flux.com.au. I'll check to see if they came back up. There's Gambling Incorporated. Gambling Incorporated, last time I checked, when I came up with this list, they didn't seem to have anything available. I don't know what was up with that. It's a very slow website to load, but okay, apparently they do have stuff available. This is another one for honorable mention. Decent selection of a variety of fairly standard bicycle and 311 decks. Some advertising decks. Look at that, the Atlanta Olympics decks. Very nice. And they are reliable. I've purchased them in the past. I think that the website has improved. Because before, it was damn slow to load stuff. But anyways, moving along. Yeah, okay, plus.com, not working still. 52cards.com. We just created the first, is in the process of creating the first custom deck, the mint playing cards. But they do have a shop that I've never purchased anything from that has a variety of fairly standard decks from the big companies that you can see, Illusionist and 311 and whatnot. And I'm sure you know they're worth checking out. Next up, an eBay shop. Poker Stud 52, also known as 52 and Jokers. I remember getting stuff from this guy like 5 years ago when I was first starting out. Still around. He's got a pretty decent selection of decks. Yeah, he's got the original Virtuoso deck for $60. All sorts of older decks, some newer decks from a variety of different companies, as you can see. Even the new Cherry Casino deck in black. Oh, look at this. Apparently there's motorcycles. Apparently there's actually a second version of the black Cherry Casino deck in a different tough case as opposed to the one that I got here. I don't know why they do that. It's stupid. But whatever. Limited edition. So yeah, you can see a pretty good selection if you're on eBay. And one more honorable mention. SlimCardCo.com, which is from Canada. And they've got a pretty interesting selection of decks. A lot of Magic decks, actually. A lot of decks that this guy produces himself for Magic, using standard decks, and even casino decks. Yeah, apparently I'm not voted. Bear with me, I apologize for the inconvenience here. He's got all sorts of decks, gaff decks, gimmick decks, Svengali decks, and stripper decks. He's got stripper decks I've never even heard of. Forcing decks, as you can see, this is basic gaff decks. If I can get it there. Click up. Yes, sort card, corner sort, narrow decks, sort decks, Svengalis, forcing decks, stripper decks, all sorts of stuff. He does also have casino, a variety of casino decks available. Some bicycle and 311 decks and whatnot. So that is that. So now we shall move into the top 10 finally, without further ado, get on there. First of all, number 10. Although I'm starting to wish I put Gamblers and Gambling Incorporated on here instead of this one. Whatever. Gambling Incorporated, Dealing Deuces, tied to number 10. DealingDeuces.com, number 10 on my list. They got a pretty nice selection of vintage decks. And some older decks, as you can see. There's some Dan and David 311 decks. I don't know why they call this one the White Stinger. Last I checked, it was a Black Stinger, or whatever. And $50. I don't know about that. That's really expensive for a Stinger deck. They got some more standard decks, as you can see, like War Polkador, some split spades, Tally for split spades. You got a lot of nice vintage casino decks. I'd like to have like a slipper, silver slipper casino deck. I ain't paying $250 for it. So they got a pretty good selection about that. My only major issue with them is that they force you to pay for like $35 shipping for one deck. Who knows how much it'd be if you bought a brick. Just because they've had apparently a lot of issues with lost packages and whatnot that's costing money, and I guess they feel like they're getting ripped off. So now they force you to pay for expensive shipping so that there's no issues and there's tracking and whatnot. Personally, I think it's a rip-off. You should be able to choose what level of shipping you want. And if there's issues, well, so be it. Moving along, number 9 on the list, MERS67.com. Also has a shop on Amazon, or two maybe on Amazon, and an eBay shop. He seems to sell some newer stuff on his eBay shop before he does on his Amazon shop before he does here. But he's got a pretty good selection. Wow. B quality playing cards, $10. Those cost like $25 also. That's not a bad deal. He's got a lot of older decks. He's also got a lot of exclusive decks that he produced himself. I'm not saying they're good, but he produced them himself. Not a big fan of these maiden backs, Santa backs. They're just it's just a cash grab. Get the original ones before you ever get these ones. God's sake, I apologize. Overcook the roast chicken. Anyways, I apologize. Of course, he's got these tie-dye decks, which I did like. And he's got these animal-themed decks, which are okay. This Bicycle 500 deck, which I've got as well. It's fine. Just the 500 deck. All these trace decks, and these are like from like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and they're still available, easily available on his website, which tells me they're not overly popular. And that is because they're basically standard with clip art on the aces and the jokers. And these ones are even worse. These red, white, and blue series, 6 different decks with red, white, and blue colors. Absolutely horrible. I don't even want anything to do with them. Not because they're American, just because they're horrible. I mean, this just seems like a cash grab when you're doing all these different variations of the same thing. Completely unnecessary. One deck would have been sufficient, 1 or 2. Anyways, that is MERS67. One of the other issues I've had with him, not so much lately, is that before he used to just put stuff in an envelope without any protection and you'll end up getting damaged goods. He seems to use protection now, at least for me. I don't know about others. And another issue I had with him more recently on Amazon was I went to buy something. I went to buy 2 decks. One, I specifically said I want the one that's in the picture because that's what I wanted. And turns out that he didn't actually have that one. He had a slightly different version, which I already had. So that was canceled. And then the other deck, which was a bicycle fasten deck, he also did not end up having. So I don't know. He was selling stuff on Amazon that he doesn't even have. It's ridiculous. Anyways, next up on the list, this is number 8, I believe it is. This is CartsMyDecom.co.uk. Pretty decent shop from the UK. Pretty good selection of playing cards of a variety of different companies. Bicycle. They also have Cartamundi. They have stuff from they also have all sorts of gaff decks and gimmick decks available. As you can see, they got Aviators, Anglo, Bicycle. They got stuff from Big Blind Media, souvenir and advertising decks, Cartamundi, Card Shark, Dan and Dave, Fournier, facsimile decks, Hoyle, Magic Castle decks, mini decks, Yatnex, plastic decks, Protea, which is from South Africa, so I used to have one myself, tarot decks, decks from the US Game System, other non-bicycle USB-C decks, so forth and so forth. And even vintage playing cards. This one's a nice one, a Steamboat. I'd like to get that one, but not at the price that they're selling it at, that's for sure. Ooh, could have gone for it. See what else they got here. Interesting vintage decks they're selling here. Trying to find that Steamboat. Oh wow. I think I have that one already. Something similar. I'm sorry, again, I'm tracked. I'm just looking very quickly. I'll have to look up some more of that later. What do we got here? This is a Bism deck in 2012. It is a giant size deck, jumbo size deck, which I have one that I got from somebody. It's a bit different though, but it's not the same year. It's pricey. Anyways, next up, number 7 on the list, apologize for getting off track, is CartsMyDecom. They used to have an English version of the website. Well, it used to have a English Earl, I forget what the name was. Stupid Windows with connection problems. Come on. And for some reason, whenever I go to this website, it comes up with the French version. Anyways, they got, they always have promos, as you can see, where you can get 5 or 10 or 15% off orders. Mystery decks, if you spend so much money. Who the hell is going to spend 600 euros? I don't know. One of the issues I've had with this one is sometimes I think that the prices are a bit high for certain things. But lately they've been good, I will say that much. Because you had a pretty good selection of decks from all the variety of Kickstarters and all the big websites, for 11 and Dan and Dave, etc., etc. Luke Brown, Handlords, and David Blaine. They got a good selection of all the big companies. You got no major issues with the website or anything like that. Aside from sometimes, like I said, a little bit pricey for stuff, and these ridiculous promos where you have to spend like 300 or 600 euros to get something free, because a lot of people are spending that much money to get stuff for free. I did have some issues with them in the past. They used to sponsor me, they don't anymore, obviously. But whatever. Moving along. It's a decent site, especially if you're in France or Europe. That's for sure. Moving along. Next up, number 6, ArtOfPlay.com, which is owned by the twins, the Bucks. It's decent. It's got a decent selection of playing cards, including this new Green Aristocrat. They got decks from a variety of Kickstarters. Of course, they got all the deck starter decks and the Dan and Dave decks. The biggest problem is the shipping cost. 17 bucks to ship one deck to Canada is inexcusable and unacceptable. And they do the same thing on DanandDave.com. So that's why they're ranked lower than they probably should be. Next on the list, number 5, is Cardvalusa, which is from Singapore. Prices are in Singaporean dollars. They got a pretty good selection of decks. As you can see, they're currently selling a lot of stuff. They also got rewards and points, which is good. $30 for a Carter's Freecom deck ain't gonna happen. Yeah, I got a pretty good selection of cards from Kickstarters and elsewhere. I have placed orders with them in the past. It took forever to get them, but I did eventually get them. The customer service is good. I've got no issues with them, and I think it's the way it deserves to be ranked. Moving along, RarePlayingCards.com. Number 4 on the list, is it? RarePlayingCards.com, which is based in the US. Again, pretty good selection of playing cards from a variety of Kickstarter projects and websites. I don't have a lot of experience with them customer service wise, but I have placed at least one order with them and no issues. $40 for pink Fontaines. What is wrong with people? It's not even a nice color pink. It's like a peach color. No thank you. I didn't even want to pay $15 for them on Fontaine Playing Cards website. Oh, speaking of which, you notice also I'm not mentioning any of the creator websites like Kings Wild or Kings and Crooks or Fontaine or anything like that. I'm trying to keep it to shops that sell a variety of stuff, as you can see, which this one does, and decent prices. Except for the Magnetic card, $40, a little bit pricey, but anyways. Moving along, number 3 on the list, jpplayingcards.co.uk, also jpplayingcards.com, from the UK. A good website. I've got no issues with them whatsoever. I've done some business with them in the past on a variety of times, and no issues. I've always gotten what I paid for. They have these exclusive, well, semi-exclusive, exclusive decks that they've been releasing, the Lux series. Very nice. You can still get them, a variety of different versions on the website. Apparently they got Gilt Edge collection coming soon. Anyways, very nice. Good, Paul, the owner, is a good guy. I recommend checking him out, especially if you're in Europe and the UK. Why not? Oh, I'm waiting for this one, a Pagan in blue. Moving along, number 2 on the list. You could probably guess which ones are number 1 and 2. You can see which ones they are. Playingcards.net. Excellent, massive selection of playing cards. As you can see, and actually, I like that. Now you can actually click here and see which ones are the latest playing cards on the website. They didn't have that before. I like that. That's what I like. I like to be able to go on a website, click on what's new, and see what's new. Not try to find out what's new. But they got a whole bunch of decks, as you can see, even weird decks, rummy decks, animal rummy, robot rummy, old maid, Go Fist, all sorts of decks. They got all the major Kickstarters covered, all the major websites covered. They also produce a bunch of decks. And you can see they got plastic decks as well. I got no major issues with them. Aside from sometimes it seems to me that the tracking on their packages don't show up until like it comes into Canada, which is a little bit disappointing. But that's about it. I mean, outside of that, good customer service, good products, and really it's very, very super close with number 1, which is CollectiblePlayingCards.com. CollectiblePlayingCards.com, of course, another massive selection of playing cards. They also have a massive amount of Kickstarter decks that they're doing south. You can see the latest ones here on the bottom. And they also have a club. I don't know if it's still available, 1,000 Deck Club. But, by the way, I also mentioned playing cards on that, Vito's 810 to save 10% on your order. Here we go. They do have some club member decks still, but nothing new, nothing recent. But it's a good website, good customer service. Shipping is usually pretty quick. And they've been sponsoring me for quite some time now. Been a good sponsor. I like it. Also, of course, Vito's 832 saves you 10% off your orders here. There is one more I think I forgot to mention. CartPorn.com. This should have been in my honorable mentions. Somehow I missed it. They're another one of my sponsors. I've never actually placed any orders with them, so I can't attest to customer service and shipping. But they got a good amount of especially limited and rare edition decks, as you can see. Some of them are pricey, but you get what you pay for, I guess. They're limited edition, pretty good selection. And of course, if you spend $50 or more, use the code VJose10 to save $10, I think it is, or 10%. And if you spend $100 or more, use the code VJose20 to save 20% or $20, I think it is. I don't remember. It's everything is down below in the description box. Links, discount codes. Go check it out. Look at that, 12 decks. We got a lot of stuff that's sold out. A lot of good stuff though. Anyways, that is that. Collectible playing cards number 1, playing cards.net number 2, but very super close. I will see you next time with more top 10s and deck reviews. Comment and subscribe, let me know what you think. Check out my sponsors. See ya.